Hi all. So in this video we are going to talk about the middle tier on your crate. This middle tier is going to be created using lap joints. So the first step is we need to create those parts using OnShape. So to get started with that, I'm going to go to Create Document. I am going to call this lap joint 16. You will have two lap joints. One will be 16 inches in length, the other will be 13.5 inches in length. It is very important to remember the 13.5. We'll talk about that more later. I'm going to start my new sketch, view normal to the sketch plane. We are still using 1x4s, so I'm going to create my rectangle. And I'm going to go ahead, place some dimensions on my rectangle. So it's going to be 16 inches in length. It's going to be 3.5 inches in height. And at this point, I'm going to finish sketch 1, and I am ready to extrude it. The extrusion is going to be 3/4 of an inch. And if we look at our isometric view, should be good to go. Now I am going to right-click, New Sketch. And I'm going to view normal to sketch plane. And now I am going to be creating the actual lap joint. So we haven't been in class to actually talk about this lap joint, but a lap joint, and when we do the assembly, you're going to see how these fit together. So I'm going to put a rectangle on here, and I'm going to dimension this rectangle. This is going to be 3/4 of an inch. I always want to go back to that dimensioning tool, and you don't need to. And this one's going to be 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to do the same thing in the opposite corner. There, I did it again. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish my sketch. And I'm going to extrude. And this time I'm going to be removing. And I'm removing both of those chunks. And there we go. And now I'm going to rename this part. And I'm going to call again lap joint 16. And now I am ready to start another new document. I need to remember the best way to do that without going back to the main menu. Nope, that's not right. I guess I just need to completely actually click OnShape. Yeah, there's the one I made. And click Create New. And this one is going to be my lap joint 13.5. And I'm going to be doing the same procedure, just using different dimensions. I'm going to start on this front view. New sketch. View normal. My rectangle. Really important, 13.5. Don't get that dimension wrong or it'll cause you problems. And there's where I'm clicking that darn tool the wrong way again. 3.5. Finalize. Extrude. Check mark. Here, I definitely have an isometric. Right click, new sketch. Right click, view normal to sketch plane. I'm going to do my rectangles again. Something didn't seem quite right there. Try this again. New sketch. Not that we're looking for speed right now, we're looking for proficiency and that you understand the concepts. I don't care, well, I mean, I do care how long it takes you because the assignment should fit in a 45-minute class period without a problem. But when it comes to, a designer getting paid by the hour, we want to be able to click through these pretty quickly. And I'm ready to extrude those pieces. We're doing a remove. And we're good to go. So now we are ready to create a drawing of these, or we could create, I want to rename this, or we could create an assembly. Either one we could do first. I do recommend that you do your drawing first, and the reason I recommend that is because if you made a mistake making your part, you will often catch that when you are doing your drawing. So my record box is in the way of trying to make a new drawing. Let me pause it and I'll be right back. All right, so I got my record screen moved, so we can go ahead and we can create these drawings. So I'm going to do that by clicking the plus sign, create drawing. We want the ANSI A and we want inches, that's correct. And we wait. This is a great time to, pause and go ahead and start working on actually setting up your screen to create your lap joints. I'm going to pause it and show. All right, so I'm going to take this part. I've selected the part. I'm going to place in my front view. I'm going to place in my top view. I'm going to go up here to my projected view. There we go. I want my side view and my isometric view. I'm not sure why hidden lines aren't showing. I would like to talk about hidden lines in a lesson. There should be a dashed line up here. Dashed lines are hidden lines. I'll have to do some research and see why they're not appearing. We're not going to worry about that for right now. That's on my plate, not on yours. So we have our top, front, and side views in, and we are now going to place our dimensions. We need an overall length dimension and overall height dimension, an overall width dimension. We need to show the dimensions for our cutout. And although we know it's the same on each side, we can't necessarily assume that every viewer would know that. And this also goes along with finding your mistakes. If you just assume that it's right and for some reason it is wrong, well then you're going to run into problems later. So I'm selecting all these so I can change the dimensions because we want to be in fractional inches. And there we go. So this particular drawing is done. This was my 13.5. I am now going to do the same thing. I am going to create a drawing. Again, I want my ANSI A. Of course, the default, because the last part that I drew was my lap joint 13.5, and we want our 16, I need to go to my other documents, my OnShape, and there's my 16. There's my front view, top, side, projected. And we are going to dimension. Whoops, that is the wrong spot. You always want to get in the habit of putting your dimensions. The front view should be your primary location when possible. Whoops, I don't even know why that popped up. So when it popped up and that wasn't what I wanted, I simply hit escape on my keyboard. And we want to change these to fractions. I'm holding the shift key down to select more than one dimension at a time. And there we go. Now I am ready to create an assembly. So at this point, this has been almost 11 minutes. My goal is to get this done in 15 minutes. That means you could actually, watch my video 3 times as you're learning, because you should spend about 45 minutes each day working. Insert. So I want to insert my lap joint, and we are going to need 2 of those. So I can see right here that 2 are in. Go to my other documents, OnShape. I want my 16, and I need 2 of those. So the lap joint can be a little challenging to assemble because it's very easy to mix them up as which one is the 13 and which one is the 16. I also need to get these to rotate in the correct way. I will say on OnShape I've been struggling a little to figure out exactly how to rotate items, but we'll get there. So I'm going to start with this mate fastener, and I am going to rotate this way. I'm going to say maybe not. Okay, just because I'm not sure I'm going to get this done in the 3 minutes I have left, I'm going to finish out this video and start a new video to actually assemble these, because at 15 minutes this program cuts me off. I'll be back.